good time. I was like, dude, it was like literally the best day of my life. I don't know. For me, the producers and everything, they totally took care of me. Like everything was like smooth. But I'm like, yeah, it's not like me and Ellen are friends.
They definitely built up enough confidence for me to go out there.
They do.
I've been on other shows, but going on Ellen and then that massive audience and then Ellen, and it just hits you like they were like, say hi to Snapchat. I'm like, okay, and then you look out and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This episode, I gotta tell these this is the possible Pat minute.
You holding this shit? Like we always roll. I thought you always captured in the moment. Man, this shit got my guns looking. Bow!
You gotta say some of these bloopers.
Hungry? You want me to do fucking cardio?
I typically do sweet potatoes.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to the video. I am so excited about this video. So obviously I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, Possible Pat. If you haven't heard his story, well, that's what this video is all about. We're gonna be talking about his story, but there's so many similarities with us, and I think it's just super fun to be able to record a video. We both lost a lot of weight. He has me beat in the poundage for sure.
I'm 6'8".
It's true.
So mine was stretched out.
Yeah. and we both went on Ellen, which is something that obviously I don't have in common with a lot of people. So I'm just really excited. So basically, you guys know the format of these videos. Pat's gonna tell his story, and if I have any questions, I'm gonna ask. But if you want to just introduce yourself and then kind of just start from the beginning, man.
Okay, well, I'm Pat. Possible Pat, Pasquale Bracco. A little over 4 years ago, I started my journey to lose weight. Before then, I struggled as far as back as I can remember. I mean, from being a little kid, 4 or 5, being overweight, being talked about, being bullied. Basically, my whole entire life, I was overweight, and this wasn't the first time I tried to lose weight.
Yeah, right.
This is a lot of people fall into this thing that you did it, but they don't realize we struggled. I mean, I tried to lose weight since I was 15, and I never was successful because I kept turning to food for my comfort and making it my escape from life. And to be honest, it became my job. I was a bodyguard for 10 years, and a lot of people felt the bigger I was, the better it was. Well, that's what I thought. I thought, if I'm this big, no one's going to mess with me.
Of course.
Everyone's going to feel safe. I'm 6'8", 600 pounds. Who's going to push me?
Yeah, exactly. I went in there. Oh, hello. Yes.
So I kind of used that as an excuse to why I stood so big in life. And it wasn't until one day I was on tour with a comedian, Cat Williams, and I remember it. It was the NBA Finals. We placed a bet. Whoever's team wins, the loser would have to do 50 push-ups. And I lost. And I went down. I didn't even know I couldn't do a push-up. So I went down like, I'm about to knock these and fell. I could not do one push-up.
Should be like, no, my elbow is injured. Yeah. That's why.
I pulled the muscle. But that wasn't the case, man. And to be honest, I was in a room filled with a couple other celebrities, entourage, everyone's there. It's like 20, 30 people in the room. And these are the people I'm supposed to be protecting. And then I couldn't even lift myself up off the ground. And then it really sunk in what am I doing? Like, if I can't help me, how can I help anybody else in this world? And I built a career off of helping and protecting people.
Interesting, yeah.
So shortly after, I just decided I needed to go home. And it wasn't because I was going to lose weight. It was because I was just embarrassed. I was ashamed of who I became. So I went home, and it was just like a normal day. Being that big, we have scares. It might be too hot out. We might get a cramp in our shoulder, and we think we're having a heart attack. And that's one of the things that happened. I thought I was having a heart attack. I don't know what's going on. This is it. Called my mom. You got to come to Arizona. But so I immediately went to the hospital, and I didn't have a heart attack.
Okay.
But I found out a lot of other things. For one, I found out I was 600 pounds because I didn't weigh myself for 8 years. Yeah. So last time I really weighed myself, I might have been like 400 pounds. And I think I really put 100 pounds on that last tour that I was in. Because we spent days, weeks on the road, and all we ate was fast food, gas stations, and I could have made healthier choices, but obviously I didn't.
Yeah.
I ate a bag of gummy worms to stay awake while I'm driving. But I found out I was pre-diabetic. My blood pressure was just like, they kept me overnight. That's how high it was.
Wow.
My cholesterol was crazy. Everything that I didn't want to hear, I heard in that room. And it was really what the doctor said, just how long you think this is going to last, that really hit me.
Yeah.
And also just talking to him like, yo, what can I do? And then them recommending me get gastric bypass. And I'm like, 27.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to
It
just
changes
give up.
your life too.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not ready just to give up. And through that journey, through that process, I've seen a couple other doctors, and they all said, you know, gastric bypass would probably be a good thing for me. Otherwise, it would take me 5-6 years to lose the weight. I did it in 2.5. So
beat them.
I beat them, and sometimes that's what it's about, man. It's about taking things into your own hands, because at the end of the day, it's our lives. We really have to take control over them.
It's really interesting when you said, like, when a doctor asked you, like, how long is this gonna last? Like, when you really think about it, because I remember when I was at my heaviest, I was 20 years old when I started losing my weight. I remember I honestly thought that by the time I might not make it to 35. And that was just me being like, I thought in my head realistic, like with how much weight I'm gaining every year, I'm gonna be one of those people that like can't leave their house, you know? And like, so when you really do start to think about the future, like I think for a lot of people it can kind of sober you up to be like, okay, like this isn't, how long am I gonna be on this earth?
Yeah,
you know?
that was scary. I think even knowing that I was pre-diabetic and high cholesterol, like everyone has it.
Right?
We made it acceptable.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really what did, like I was scared about that.
It's crazy to think like that though.
Yeah,
It's true.
we
It's
made
true.
it. The society has made it acceptable. I mean, my mom, she was diabetic. My grandma died of a heart attack. My dad died of. I mean, all the signs were in my face, and obviously we pick traits up from our parents and the people we surround ourselves with. So it's just eating bad all our lives. But it was really that number on the scale, like 600 pounds. I remember, like, damn, I would never be on the 600-pound life show.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I am 600 pounds. I
is
should
my
be
life,
on that show.
Yeah.
And right then, I still didn't decide to lose weight. I went home and I got into my feelings, my emotions, and I stuffed my face for like weeks and weeks. And I just became even more lazier than what I was. And it was one day I stepped out the shower, and I remember just like struggling in the shower to like reach my bag.
Yeah, clean your whole body.
Yeah, dry off, tie my shoes. Everything I was struggling with. I stepped out the shower and I looked in the mirror. It's actually the picture I used for my before picture. I took that picture and I was just disgusted. I was, no lie, like the biggest boobs ever. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but anytime, like this was like some North Africa to my belly button. It was crazy, and I was just like, this can't be real.
Yeah.
And I was just like completely disgusted. I'm just like, I can't be this person anymore. So it was actually that moment I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not going to be him. And I remember after that, I didn't have a game plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what eating healthy was. I didn't know. I ate bad my whole life. I don't know a diet. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I worked out time to time when I was younger, but nothing really. So I just said, I don't know what to do, but I know what not to do.
Yep.
I know that I can't continue eating the food that I'm eating. And that's what I did. I emptied out everything in my house, from my refrigerator to the cabinets, everything. Oodles and noodles was gone. The easy baked mac and cheese was gone. The boxes of cereal.
Yep.
I didn't see, and that's the thing, that's all I had.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't like chicken breast in my refrigerator. You know, I went to McDonald's. I ate. I ordered a pizza, and that's how I ate. It was cheap. It was easy. It was convenient.
Yep.
And from that moment on, I said, I'm just not going to do that. And I didn't know what to exercise, so I said, I'm going to walk to get every meal. And that's what I did for my first 90 days. And I ended up losing 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy. And like, so you walked, and it was how long was the walk each way?
long enough for me to be hurting.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it wasn't that far. We're in Arizona, so you know the lights are.
Yeah,
it was like
I know, man.
It was 2 lights.
That's long. That's
It was-
far.
so 2 lights in Arizona is typically
That's like-
about a mile and a
That's what I'm
half,
saying.
2
That's
miles.
at least a mile.
So I used to walk a mile and a half each way, and when I first started, it was hard.
I bet.
Like
yeah.
I had to take stops and just chill and relax. And I remember halfway point there was a gas station. I would stop and get some water, and then I would regret it because I was like, "Damn, I just poured a gallon of water. Now I got to walk with it." So now I'm like really struggling.
Dang
I'm like,
it, man.
trying to drink the water. Like, hurry up! I don't want to carry this no more. Water in the plants. Like.
Yeah, I'm helping the environment here.
And then just going there, and the first time I did it, I didn't plan on walking for every meal. But as I carried that gallon, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to shop for the week and walk back with all this
that's
stuff.
a good point.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get one meal, and that's what I did. 3 times a day, I would walk and get a meal. And for my other meals, I did shakes at the house.
Yeah.
So 3 times a day, I would walk, and if I wanted something besides a shake or something, I would walk again. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. Something so simple as not eating bad foods
Yeah.
and walking
Yeah.
lost 100 pounds.
And I bet like a huge part of that was obviously like the walking was burning calories, but it was more like you decided to make that shift in your mind too. And so like it probably made dieting a little bit easier because you kind of changed the way you're thinking about food. You're not thinking about food like I'll just eat whatever I want on the planet. It's
exactly. So, and it's crazy because I remember one of the biggest struggles about walking to Walmart to get my food was the first thing you walk into Walmart, it was a McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
So every day,
Yeah.
now after walking damn near 30 minutes,
earned
and
this.
I'm
Yeah.
hungry, I'm just like, this is the first thing I got. It smells so
the
delicious. I'm
fries,
just like, ugh. But I just said no. I just wasn't going to do it, and it was because I decided to make my mind change and just tell myself no, like just letting that register in your head that don't be this person, because I never even shared this with many people, but this isn't the first time. I lost 100 pounds before I started this
Really?
journey, and I was like fresh out of high school, lost 100 pounds, and I was actually like fit. Like I lost 100 pounds. I was running on the track. I was doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And it lasted for like 25 days.
Wow.
And then I put on 150 pounds.
Yeah.
And then that's when I really hit the
It just
400
kinda-
pound mark.
yeah.
And after that, I was just like, I can't do it again.
Yeah. I'm like made to be this big kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I was like, I put on way too easy. I wasn't thinking like, oh, maybe if you stop eating this, you'll do it. So at that time, I didn't know anything about that. All I ate was chicken salads every meal and eggs in the morning. That was it. And it worked too, but I didn't change this. So as soon as I said, you know what, I look good, I can go back to the old me just want 10 times worse than what it ever was.
So I have a question. So after you like lost the first 100 pounds, now I mean obviously we've seen you be on stage. You've won some championships. And what was like after you lost the first 100 pounds to where you got to now? I know that's a huge chunk of life, but what kind of changed?
The very first time, or my first 100 pounds?
The first 100 pound this time. After that.
So after losing the first 100 pounds, I kind of built enough confidence to say, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym. And that's when stuff really started to sink in. Life started to sink in, like being at the gym, and I just got glimpses of life, like because I was there. People didn't know I lost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
They just said, "Yo, this big ass 500 pound dude." And first thing I do is I'm gonna do some cardio, and the treadmill didn't move.
Yeah.
Like the belt was, I broke many of treadmills.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like till this day, I still break treadmills.
'Cause now you're
300
sprinting on
pounds
it.
and trying to sprint on a treadmill does not work. But 500 pounds, the treadmill just like error.
Yeah.
It really said error, and I was
Said
just
no.
like, and I used to like scoot over to the
Like,
next
this one's
treadmill.
broken. I don't know what's wrong with this one.
I didn't do it. So, but just being in there and other people seeing that and seeing me, and I like I said, I always stepped in there with a negative mindset. So I assumed that everyone in there was talking about me, and especially having being a child growing up and being in a big city, people make fun of you, and it was just part of our life. It wasn't even if I was skinny, people would have made fun of me, but I started remembering all the hurtful things people were saying, and that like drove me to, you know what, I'm gonna go harder. And I used to think about like me trying to talk to a girl, like I'm on the bench press and I'm like, you know what, this is hard. And I used to think about, remember that time that girl played you? I was like, yeah! And it's
just like when
anger.
Super Saiyan.
And it's funny, like stuff that I hid for so many years kept me driving, kept me going. People making fun of me, like in the back of my head, it never affected me then, but deep down inside, I knew it was there, and I finally let it out, and it actually drove me to be more successful.
Nice. And then, so what was the why did you decide that you want to go from being morbidly obese to being like, I want to get on stage? You know, you go from one extreme to literally the exact opposite. Was there like a moment that you decided, or was it just like, this makes sense?
It was just the whole social media. So obviously I started posting when I first started, and I did that for accountability. I didn't have no followers. No one followed me. No one knew who paid. It was just
same
friends
here.
and
That's
family.
Exactly.
And every time I would get a new follower, and then the next thing I know, I got like 10,000 followers, 20,000, and then the news does a special on me, and I just keep growing and growing and growing. And I was just like, well, everyone loses weight. It's not everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
There's a Pat somewhere in Ohio. There's a John somewhere in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We may not just know about them, but how can I motivate people?
Yeah.
How can I show people that? Because a lot of people may not be impressed by just losing weight. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna take it to the next level.
Nice.
I'm gonna step on stage.
Nice.
And that was really to show people that no matter what you think you can't do, you can overcome it, and you can really make it possible. Yeah. And that's before my name used to be Gym Rat Pat. And that's what I'm Gym Rat Pat. I'm buff. And then I was like, no, man, I gotta be possible, Pat. I want to show the world that it's possible. Like, and that's why I picked something that I would never do in life. I don't want to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to step on stage. It's not something I do. I spent my whole life hiding my body. I don't. All of a sudden, I didn't wake up and say, you know what? I want to be in booty shorts. It's not something I want to do. And I had some booty shorts on. Jasmine was like, whoa. So it was really to just motivate people.
Awesome. Well, I mean, just talking to you right now, like, I'm super motivated. And obviously, we could sit here and talk. Like, I could sit here and talk for hours. But I just want to ask one question to you. One question that I ask everyone when I do these videos.
Okay.
Like, and I know you're going to crush this answer. But if you were talking to someone right now that wants to lose weight, that wants to start their journey, what would you say to them?
Start believing in yourself. Start searching for motivation within you, because a lot of people don't understand how much they have to be grateful for, and let that be your motivation to do better, to do more. And if you want more in life, you just got to go get it. You got to start. And if we keep putting it off, sometimes you might get to 600 pounds like me. Don't wait that long. Get started today. You should have got started yesterday, but get started right now if you haven't. You got this. It's possible.
So